Hello and welcome. My name is Victoria Sithi, and I want to thank all of you for joining us here today for this live demo here at Pack Expo Connects. We wish we could talk to you face to face, and even though we can't, we appreciate the opportunity to spend some time with you virtually. With me here today is Andrew Barriel. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Victoria. Hello, everyone.
Andrew is the president and CEO at Felins and is here today to answer the question, does sustainable packaging hurt the bottom line? Sustainability is a major hot topic with many brands and consumers today. And with this massive push for sustainable packaging alternatives, I'm curious, does sustainable packaging hurt the bottom line?
It can, but it doesn't need to. When done properly, sustainable packaging can benefit the environment, benefit society, and benefit the bottom line.
Fantastic. I'm excited to explore that with you today. But before we dive further into the discussion, we do have some housekeeping items we'd like to touch on. We do have a group chat as part of this live demo, so please feel free to comment and ask questions. Our team will answer them as we go. If you need to duck out early, just type "contact me" in the chat and our team will reach out to you. At the end of this discussion, we will also include a link for a live video chat with Andrew so that we can carry on the conversation afterwards and ask additional questions. Now let's get right into it. What is sustainable packaging and why is it so important?
Well, sustainability is so important to consumers and to major brands and to all of us in society because proper choices in sustainability can benefit society, the environment, and the bottom line. We believe passionately that every packaging decision should help, not hurt the planet. And when too much packaging mass is used, then that puts an extra strain on raw materials, on the entire supply chain for packaging materials, and it has an impact in landfills and in recycle centers as well.
Wow, I had no idea. Do you have an example of a specific case where that big of an impact was made?
I do. Actually, many. But one that comes to mind is a customer that we did business with 13 years ago, still doing business with today. They have a situation where they're making non-woven medical garments, and they're making them in 7 countries. And they came to us because they had a huge freight concern. Their freight costs were excessive. Part of the problem is that when you fold non-woven medical garments, they trap air, and the air gets stuck inside the garment. And so what they needed help with was how to overcome that problem. So we got some samples and we used some standard equipment and we went through a few prototypes and got some feedback from the customer, but we came up with a solution that puts a 50 millimeter band around the garments and compresses them. And the customer was able to get 35% more garments in a box.
Wow.
Now that may not sound like a big deal, but there's a lot of volume of these garments. So that's 35% less boxes, 35% less pallets, 35% less containers, 35% less ships. Huge impact on the environment, on society, and in this particular case on the bottom line, this customer saves over $1 million every year for the past 13 years.
Wow, it's incredible to think that just by shipping less air, that big of an impact was made. Now, was this a custom solution or a standard product offering?
That's a great question. So whenever a customer comes to us with a challenge, the first thing we do is we try to simplify the issue and we listen carefully to what their needs are. In this case, we got the samples and they needed the product compressed, but they didn't want any damage. And so we went with a standard machine and we tried a 30 millimeter machine, a 50 and a 75, and we settled in on the 50 millimeter machine. And what we're trying to do is to hold the product together without damaging it. In this case, we needed to put some extra compression on the machine. That required a little bit of a design change because the force of the compression would have crushed the frame of a standard machine. So we went with a standard with some modifications to it. And then once we got those modifications done, we got some feedback from the customer, we modified the design a little bit, and then we were quickly up and running in all 7 countries. And as I mentioned earlier, they've been getting benefit of this for 13 years.
Wow. And you mentioned the different sizes as well. Could you explain why that's important to the process?
Sure. I had mentioned a 30, 50, and a 75 millimeter machine. You're familiar with the 3 R's of conservation: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Exactly right. And so we specialize in reducing packaging mass. And so we're always looking to find the least amount of packaging that gets the work done. So when this product came in, we tried a 30, a 50, and a 75. The 50 millimeter and the 75 millimeter both solved the problem, but the 75 millimeter machine used 30% more packaging material. So we went with the 50. In contrast, the 30 millimeter would have saved even more money because it's less packaging mass. However, the bandwidth wasn't strong enough to hold the product once compressed.
Got it. So it sounds like you spent a lot of time rethinking how to package these garments then.
We absolutely did. And the 3 R's of conservation, reduce, reuse, recycle, the one that's missing is rethinking. And we really think that the industry as a whole can benefit by rethinking standard approaches to sustainability, sustainable packaging, and sustainable alternatives.
That's great. And do you have any other examples of how rethinking may apply to other applications?
We do. We have many, actually. We're going to show you a video in a couple seconds here that demonstrates how rethinking packaging and corrugated packaging and pharmaceuticals and in food can really change the approach to how much packaging mass is needed to get the job done. Please roll the video.
ATS banding technology is an ideal solution in a wide variety of industrial applications. Our experience encompasses the food, graphics, logistics, manufacturing, merchandising, and pharmaceutical sectors, among others. ATS machines can also be used in clean rooms, refrigerated rooms, and wet rooms, which makes them extremely versatile. This is made possible by unique adhesive-free ultrasonic cold welding technology, which is exclusive to ATS. The technique generates no heat, fumes, or residue. The food and packaging are protected. We would like to demonstrate the economic and environmental advantages that this results in when compared to conventional packaging. The first packaging type that we will look at is strapping around products, such as corrugated cardboard for logistics purposes. Corrugated cardboard products are stacked and strapped with plastic. The top and bottom products are usually damaged by the narrow plastic strip. They have to be disposed of by the customer and can amount to up to 10% of the total shipment. Banding delivers a key advantage here. The stacks are not damaged by the wide, soft band, but are packed in a way that protects the edges. So, nothing from the delivery has to be thrown away, and the banding itself uses as little material as possible. The second type is shrink wrapping with film to bundle the units and stabilize them for transport. The shrinking is done by heat in shrink tunnels. Applying heat is time-consuming and uses a lot of energy. And shrinking also generates heat and odors. This is far from ideal for food and pharmaceutical products, as these have to be kept cool and handled in a hygienic manner. At the point of sale, the films must be removed with a knife, which is tedious and poses the risk of hand injuries and damage to the packaging. Here too, banding offers major advantages. Efficient, automated bundling with clean packing of the units. No heat is required, which means lower energy consumption and gentle handling of the products. In contrast to shrink-fit technology, material usage and waste are kept to a minimum. Taken together, this significantly reduces costs. With an integrable thermal transfer print, track and trace codes can be applied during the bundling process, which provides enormous flexibility. Handling at the point of sale is greatly simplified. The bands can simply be torn open by hand and the product placed on the shelf undamaged. The third type is end packaging with cardboard sleeves combined with adhesive labels in the convenience food segment, as with sushi, cheese, and salads. These elements are frequently applied by hand and in multiple steps. This takes time and material and requires an unnecessary amount of manual handling of the product. Banding offers the advantage of automated packaging. The bands accommodate high-quality printing in your design, and countless material variants are available to suit your product. Variable information such as the expiration date and barcode can be applied during banding. Bands are easy to open for the end customer, a clean and appealing solution without adhesive residue and with minimal material usage. Here again, banding means reduced material usage and waste and therefore lower costs. Banding automates the packaging process and minimizes manual handling, whether as a single station or integrated into a fully automated production line. The machines are designed for continuous operation, which boosts efficiency immensely. For sensitive products, automation can also mean enhanced safety and hygiene. Banding therefore simplifies processes, increases efficiency, and improves your bottom line, and reduced material costs and waste minimize your environmental footprint. We take customer support seriously. Your success is important to us. We can assist you in securing your investment and keeping your machines in business.
That was great. Thank you for sharing. What a great way to show how rethinking traditional approaches can be good, not only for the environment, but also the bottom line. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us today?
Well, I'm so passionate about sustainable packaging and the environment. I could go on forever. But one thing that does come to mind is multi-packs and club packs. This is a big challenge for CPGs and for co-packers in that the normal production process has the product made, and then at the end of the production line, everything's case packed, palletized, and then off it goes to the distribution center. When club packs or multi-packs are brought into the equation, it starts to change the choices that CPGs and co-packers can make. And one of the challenges is that oftentimes large stores like Costco, Sam's Club, Walmart, these places require a different configuration of the packaging. So sometimes they want a 2-pack, a 3-pack, a 4-pack, and it needs to be arranged differently than the way the product would be packaged if it's going on a retail store shelf. So in those cases, what often happens is they're faced with the tough challenge of, do I do it in the plant where I'm making the product, or do I get it out the door and then go to a third-party location, unpackage it, collapse all the boxes that were used to get it there, maybe recycle them, hopefully, and then reconfigure it in the right configuration of a 2, a 3, or a 4-pack, and then repackage it into cases and then ship it off to the new location. That challenge is very labor intensive. It's a huge impact on the environment. It's a huge impact on so many things. And we have a couple alternatives. One of the things that we talk about is this is a 3-pack of bacon. And so what can we do with that? And we have a video where we're going to be able to show you with some hot dogs what we can do with that, counting, stacking, and labeling with an adhesive-free label. And then this is a chicken sausage, a similar deal. This is a 3-pack as well, and we're able to put a label on it. It's just a new way of approaching multi-packs. And what you'll see in the video, a couple things that I'd like to point out. One is that that machine that's doing this work could be done at the end of the production line if there's enough footprint. If not, it can be done at a third-party location. And then also at the tail end of the video, you'll see the count of the hot dogs changes. In the beginning, we're going with one count, and at the end, we go with another, just to show some of the flexibility of a machine that can do that kind of packing for multi-packs.
Great. Let's take a look at the video. That was very interesting. Thank you so much for showing us the many ways that we can deliver sustainable packaging alternatives that are not only good for the environment, but good for the bottom line as well. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Andrew.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And the format today dictates that we have to finish up our discussion soon. Right now, our team is posting a link for a video chat in the discussion so that we can carry on the conversation with Andrew and ask him additional questions after the live demo here today. If you didn't get a chance to have your question answered, just enter contact me in the group chat and our team will reach out to you. You can also reach out directly to Andrew via his virtual business card on our Pack Expo Connects page. And there's lots of great information on our website at felins.com. Thank you, everyone.